Hi.
Hi.
Good, thank
Hi.
you. Hi,
Hi.
yeah, hi at you too. I've heard four highs,
Hi.
five
Hi.
highs, six highs. So how many of us are on the call? 17. I'm looking for 10 highs. Just unmute and say hi if you have not yet.
Hi.
At
Hi.
seven,
Hi.
okay, I think I have. Is it 9 or 10? I'll just settle with that. Yeah, thank you for your responses. So my session is first off, sorry I have no slides to present to you this evening. And I'll just be running through, we'll be running through our schedule for a day together. So the topic is greenwashing. What's the topic again, Taiwo? Greenwashing. I'm trying to remember the exact words. I know my topic, guys. So combating false advocacy by climate champions. Combating false advocacy by climate champions. So some of you may have heard about greenwashing. You may know what it means and how usually it's to describe corporate organizations. Um, Yeah, so sorry for the break in transmission. So you may have heard about greenwashing and how we call out organizations or brands that pretend like they're actually taking action for the environment, when in actual sense they are just trying to appear good. How many of you know I've heard about the concept, or I've read about it, or I've come across it? Just say I have. Anyone? If you have heard about greenwashing before, just say I have. Does the silence mean that nobody has heard about it? Okay, if you have not heard about it before, say I have not.
I have not.
Habiba says she has not. Okay,
I have
anyone else? That's two persons. If you can't be quiet, or either you have or you have not. So,
I have not.
oh, wow, oh wow. Okay, many people have not. Okay, so let me just do a brief explanation. So you know how we are green is now, how we are advocating for environmental sustainability, how we are pushing environmental knowledge. We want individuals, industries, and institutions to be environmentally conscious. So we are the individuals. There's the industries, which represents companies, businesses, firms, corporations, that are into any form of production of goods or rendering any service. You know how these guys, they have an environmental footprint, and these days, to remain relevant in the global market, because everybody is talking about environmental sustainability, climate change, how everything is affecting the environment. So every company now tends to make some efforts towards doing good for the environment, whether they are cutting down their carbon footprint, reducing their environmental footprints. Some do this through different schemes, through different means that will not go into this evening. And yeah, it's part of why you see some organizations or companies partner with organizations to do cleanup programs, to do sensitization efforts, to plant trees and stuff like that. So those are environmental actions that um, industries and also institutions. So institutions in this regard can be um, public and private institutions, can be the government, can be some sort of firms. Also, corporations can fall under this. So they also take action to reduce their environmental footprint. So, but there's a distinction. There's usually, we are seeing these days that some of these companies actually come out to appear like they are taking action, when in the actual sense they are not. Or a place where they can make 100% efforts, they will make 20% efforts and talk about it like they're actually making 100% efforts. So to an unobserving eye, to look like, oh, this company, they are very environmentally conscious. They are making efforts to reduce the environmental footprint. When in the real sense, they are just doing something little to appear good, and they are still wreaking more havoc or causing more harm on the environment. So that is the meaning of greenwashing. So when any entity is trying to appear like they are concerned about the environment, or they are taking actual action to help the environment, when in actual sense, they are not doing as much as they are supposed to be doing for the benefit of the environment. So I hope you understand what greenwashing means now. Is that a yes? Yes, yes, yes. Can I hear yeses?
Yes, sir.
Great, great, great. I prefer that you unmute and say yes than you type in the DM also. But thank you for those that are talking, that are speaking with me. All right. So your school, where you are schooling right now, where you are working, your church, your any place that is outside your home, you may be practicing greenwashing. And it would, yeah, you may be practicing greenwashing, and it would interest you to know that even some environmental organizations can be greenwashing. So coming from that background, but we are not here to talk about all these organizations and institutions and corporations that want to appear like they care about the environment, when in actual sense, they are just trying to look good, but they are not good. This evening, we are talking about ourselves as individuals, as friends, and how we are greenwashing. And that is why the topic is combating false advocacy by climate champions. Combating false advocacy by climate champions. And in this sense, we are the climate champions. You are the climate champion. Let me ask, are you a climate champion? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. I like the yes, like before Uncle, yes.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, I've heard three voices. Who else is a climate champion? Or not? If you are not a climate champion, you can let us know.
I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, sir. Somebody is even singing with it. That's good. All right. So now that we have explained greenwashing, do you think now let's even begin from when you attended the Greenwich Academy, if that's when your environmental journey began. Do you think you have practiced greenwashing in any way? Do you think you have been greenwashing or you have been washed in any way since you became environmentally conscious? Anyone? If you think about it for a minute, do you think you have practiced greenwashing? Remember what we explained greenwashing to be: appearing to have to be concerned for the environment when in the actual sense you are not concerned, or when you can do more for. So that's one definition, one explanation, or when you can actually do more than you are doing at a time, but you are making that small that you are doing to appear like that is the biggest thing you can do, or that is doable at that point. So that's another way of looking at it. So yeah, have you brainwashed? Let's turn it into a past tense step. Oh yeah, well, let's answer yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Okay, do we need to explain or you just
If,
need a yes or no
if
answer?
you can explain, I would appreciate it more if you can just give a reference to
Okay.
a situation where you think you have brainwashed.
Okay, so with the second definition that you gave, that maybe you are supposed to do more, but you did not do more. So I think at some point, there was a project I handled which was last year, September, the World Cleanup Day, and the waste that my team and I packed. For me, I feel like it will be more than that, but for that event, we are more focused. Maybe I don't know. We are more focused on, you know, just the publicity. So I think I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we we did that in the project, right? Because it's something that with small volunteers, with just few volunteers, we do more than that, right? But for that day, we did a lot, but comparing it to the small action that we normally do, for me, I just feel like we can do more. Can do more than that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Habiba, for sharing that. That's what it was. It's an experience for sharing that occurrence that happened. Yeah, so that's a good example of if you were truly focused more on publicity, that oh, we have this number of people, we are doing this, but we do not do much work as you could have done. Yeah, so that's a bit of greenwashing in that right. So you, from the two explanations, the two kinds of explanations I've given, you see that there can be different levels of greenwashing. So thank you, Abiba, for sharing. So does any other person want to share? I would like two more persons to share how they think they've
Yeah.
personally.
Good evening,
Okay,
sir.
good evening, Amalola.
Yes, sir. Actually, what for my own aspect, I would also want to confirm maybe it is greenwashing because this is when I am meant to carry out an environmental activity, but I was not able to do it to my own satisfaction due to maybe like organizational policy, people saying you are doing too much. And then this is what happened. I think in my own organization, as the environmental lead here, um, I put on I came up with policies on environmental strategy like switching on the lights, switching off the lights when you're not making use of it, proper waste disposal. And but I discovered that introducing carpooling to I discovered that the well maybe because me they are more of elderly people and they were just like, what is all this? It cannot work, it cannot. So I had to like pull back and just maybe just monitor waste and just make sure okay the waste is properly disposed and stuff like that. But which I feel I could still do more. There are many other um, policies that I had in mind that I could have actually implement, but maybe I was feeling like these people are not I am embracing it, and I feel maybe I should have find more strategies to implement those policies and how they are going to embrace it the more, which I did not do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Malala, for sharing that experience at work. Um, what does your organization or your workplace? What kind of work do you do there? What's the focus of
Yeah,
the organization?
it's an NGO. It's a non-governmental organization, and then we have the agri department, which I am one of it, and then we promote environmental education from the agri department. We do tree planting, we train people, and we have the human rights department. We have the microcredit department. We have the printing press,
Okay.
which I also manage the waste from there. So basically, these are
Okay,
the
yeah,
departments.
I think I have enough information, quite an extensive one. So, thank God it's not mentioned the name of your organization for privacy reasons, but from what you have explained, everybody, is it sufficient to say that the organization is also greenwashing from what Amolola has explained? Does anyone have any? Would you say the organization is also greenwashing? I think Amolola thinks so. Does anyone else also think that or not? You can.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. On the question you asked, I feel she personally is not brainwashing because she's doing what she's supposed to do, even though she's limited. But the much that she didn't do it for people to notice her or something. She was doing it for a good reason, and the fact that she could not do more is not because she doesn't want
And I
to.
lost you after that.
Sorry?
The last I heard you say is the much that she did.
Okay. The much, okay, I was saying that the much that she didn't do it so that she will be noticed, or the part that she didn't do is not because she was. Network is bad.
Did
Okay,
you
can you?
are you trying to say that she did her own part and it's the reception from the other people in the organization that's not the
Yes.
best?
So is the organization that is actually greenwashing, because their organization is out there. They are environmentalists. They are for the environment, but on the inside they are not actually doing that.
Practicing. Okay. Thank you very much, Precious. So yeah, the organization is doing some brainwashing. All right. Thank you for sharing your insights, your experience, Omolola. Thank you. Um, and for giving that example. So um I would like to say at this point that with the few examples we have heard and how I have explained this, it may have come to your mind if you've actually given it some thoughts, how you as an individual may also be greenwashing and how wherever you are working, there may be some greenwashing practices going on. Now, sometimes the greenwashing is happening because of situations that are outside your control. And sometimes it's happening with you, even when the situations can be controlled by you. And let's run through our typical day in the house. I hope with this run through that you are able to find some points where you do better for the environment. So yes, you're an environmental champion, you're a climate champion, you've gone through the Green Switch Academy, you've been engaged, you now know that okay, everything you do affects the environment, affects water, air, land, and all of those things. But somehow in your daily living, you still find yourself doing things that you know somewhere in your mind, you know that okay, this is not the best action or practice, but let me just do it. Let me do it. It's just me. It's just I'll do it once. I won't do it next time and stuff like that. So your mind revolves around all of those. So you wake up in the morning, first thing, say you say your prayers and something, and then you go to the bathroom. You're going to, or anywhere you are brushing your teeth. If you are brushing your teeth in a tap, some of us are guilty of leaving the tap running through the period we are brushing our teeth. You know, the period we are scrubbing and all that. Some people leave the tap running if you have tap. And that is something you can actually do better. The small moments where you can stop the tap from running and brush your teeth and open it only when you need it saves water and also ultimately adds up to having less stress on the environment. So that's one thing where you can actually save water, but that where you may not be saving water, and it would count in that little wise as an act of greenwashing on your part as an individual, because you have the ability to do better, but you did not do better. So the brushing your mouth is leaving the tap running is just one instance. There are many uses we have for taps. When you are washing your hand, that happens a lot now since COVID. In a tap and you are scrubbing the parts where you are rubbing your hands against each other. Do you need to leave the tap running at that point? No, you do not. So that's another instance. So, but let's go back to when you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, then you're taking a shower, perhaps after, and If you are using the shower, if you spend unnecessarily long time in the shower, you're wasting water. If you bathe with, you have finished cleaning up, you've finished, you have had your bath and you are sufficiently neat, but you're just enjoying the water. You want to fetch another bucket and just pour it on your body. If you have water to waste, you actually waste water. At an individual level, that is you greenwashing. And the reason why it is greenwashing in this case is because if you were somebody that was totally ignorant about how all of this affects the environment, we may not call it greenwashing, but you have that consciousness and you know that it is a wrong act, not well, maybe a morally wrong act, depending on how you connect morality and environmentalism, but you know that this has an impact on the environment, but you are still doing it. So that's why we are calling it greenwashing in this case. So if you can manage water and not waste it, whether through brushing, through bathing, please try to, with the understanding that every water you waste negatively impacts the environment, because it's a long chain. It takes energy to bring the water to you, and the process of generating the energy contributes to climate change or global warming and climate change. So we can do all of establishing the links, but that's not the purpose this evening. Then say if you've had your bath, you're dressing up, you what happens after you have your bath? You maybe you are going to work or you are going to school or something. Let's say for those that go to work, if you take an Uber, which is very convenient, maybe sometimes faster, gets you to your destination more quickly, they're convenient and all that. But if you take an Uber when you have an option of carpooling, when you have an option of taking a public transport, that would also get you to the same destination, I think that also counts as greenwashing. Now, there are instances where, say you are going to a place you do not know before, and for security reasons or because of time, or you're late, or maybe you are putting on a particular attire on some days, and okay, you have the resources to take a boat or Uber or something. Yeah, you go there. Because of all these different reasons, you have to take an Uber. There are instances like that. But there are also moments or times when none of these situations are there, and yeah, you can easily just take public transport and arrive at your destination and everything will be fine. But yeah, because you are rich, you have the money, you take Uber. Or because you want to be seen as a big girl, I'm a big girl, I'm a big man, why will I go and be struggling with people during that and all that? So again, you have that consciousness that transportation contributes to emissions that affect the environment. You have the knowledge that carpooling is when there's a couple of persons in a car or in a bus or in any automobile, so that we are reducing the number of automobiles that are on the road at a particular moment. I think at some point, the increase in fuel price helped to make more people uh, park their cars at home and start taking public transport, conditioned by the environment. But many of us who are environmental or climate champions did not let that condition us, or do not let that knowledge that we have of how transportation, how when we each decide to take our different forms of transportation negatively impacts the environment, we do not let that condition us. So you may not have given thought to this, that this is me personally greenwashing, because I will still go and talk about, or whenever people are talking about, asking, are you an environmentalist? You say yes. Are you environmentally conscious? Yes. Or you join people to teach others about the environment, but in different ways, in little ways that you can practice that environmentalism. You are not doing so. Another instance would be, say, as a student, for example, there's a material that is provided, that is released. And if you can conveniently read the material in digital copy, do you really need to print it? Do you have to print it if you can conveniently read in digital copy? No, you do not, actually. Yeah, but if reading in digital copy, you may not comprehend, you are a student. So primarily, you want to comprehend what you are reading, what you are studying, and all that. So if you will not comprehend digitally, you have to have the paper in your hand and stuff. I would say we can understand, but really, if you are not touching paper, does it mean you cannot comprehend anything you read on the screen? When you are scrolling through social media, when you're doing stuff on your phone, looking at WhatsApp statuses, you read stuff and you comprehend. So I think it's being that we are used to, or maybe in the early part of our education, we read a lot of hard copy. So many of us say, me, I'm not going to understand until I print them for paper or any material at all. I have to print it. But is it really the case? Is this something that we can consciously work on and condition ourselves to read digitally and, comprehend it and reduce paper usage? So these are some different ways. I think my time is up. Different daily practices that we different activity or practices that we engage in daily, but do not think much around. And sometimes it comes to your mind actually that being that I say I'm an environmental person, I don't think I should be doing this. Some of us still fly, take that's literal. Some of us still litter, still consume stuff and throw it away. Some of us still buy things that we do not need. Some of us still collect double nylon. Some of us still go and whenever we shop, we collect nylon every time when we can easily take our nylons or reusable bags with us to wherever we are buying stuff. But when we are talking about the environment, these are things we'll be quick to say, take your own bag shopping, but you yourself, you don't practice it. So again, that's another form of greenwashing. So because my time is up, I hope that with the few examples we have given, that you are reminded that being an environmental or climate champion is not just by attending a Green Switch Academy or by volunteering with one organization or by working in an organization or by any means you became environmentally conscious. It's actually by practicing. And I would say that in every organization and every setup, yes, there's probably some form of greenwashing based on how we have defined it. There's always things that an organization can do better, even for us at Plugin Nigeria. Sometimes you attend events and an event where we are preaching against plastic pollution, we have a lot of bottled water and stuff that we are drinking there. So sometimes you are conditioned to still not be able to not be as sustainable as you want based on economic resources, based on availability of alternatives and all of those. But I think beyond all these things that we have said, the most important part is the posture of your mind towards wanting to continue to actually be an environmental champion in the real sense of it. Not just because you have a certificate from one Green Switch Academy, or you have read something, or you can talk beautifully about it, or you can join people to raise placards. It's the posture of your mind that at every point in time, you acknowledge that, yes, I know I can do this better, and I am consciously making efforts to actually do this thing less because I understand that it affects the environment. Even when nobody is appraising you, when nobody is seeing it, when nobody is seeing you in the bathroom, that when you are brushing your teeth, you are turning the tap off. When you are washing your hands, you are turning the tap off in between. When you are taking your shower, you are trying to spend less time. When nobody is measuring all of those and appraising you, but yourself, you know what you are doing. And the way how it works with your mind is when you are doing those little things and you are making progress with them, it's conditioned, it makes you want to now engage in, you know, more engage in bigger practices, engage more openly, do more things beyond those small things that you begin with in the open, in your office, at your workplace. So you graduate gradually from doing the small things to the bigger things. And with that consciousness, with that intentional efforts that you make, it becomes a habit, it becomes a behavior that now transfers to many other things and encourages and supports whatever speaking, whatever action you yourself may have for the environment, or may want to take for the environment. And I would just circle back to the gene that was dropped on your group yesterday that if some of you read that, that was reminding you that, when you come to sessions like this, even as you have listened to me speak this evening, you may, I'm rounding up Taiwo. So you may now start thinking and your passion is re-energized. Oh, okay, I will do this better, I'll do this less, I'll do this better. Yes, I'm going to renew my vibe, my passion for the environment with what I have heard. But there's an adage in Yoruba that says, "Ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kọ́ loníṣẹ́ àfi ẹni tó bá forí tì í dópin." And it means that um, the real work is not in starting. The real work is in completing what you have started. I think it roughly translates to that. So this moment where you hear these things and you feel gingered, I'm going to start again. That's early moment. That's not where the real action is. It's how you maintain beyond now, such that you do not even need people to remind you from time to time. Yeah, the reminders are good, but that you develop and you practice even when nobody is there, so that it becomes a behavior, it becomes an attitude, and it becomes transferable. And I'll close with this, that as you are doing this, keep in mind that sustainability is not a destination. It is a journey. It is a continuous journey. So you never arrive at a finish point and say, yes, I am 100% sustainable right now. It's a continuous effort to always do better than you did today, to always have less impact on the environment. Yes, you can talk about bigger guys, corporations, government, and all of that that are not doing stuff, but importantly yourself, make sure that you are improving your efforts as an environmental and climate champion. That is the end of my charge, and I hope that it's reignited or inspired in some way to continue to be or to be better environmental champions than you already are. Thank you, and back to you, Taiwo.
All right, thank you so much, sir. It was really a mind-blowing session. I mean, I know that a lot of people, a lot of us, I too, I am, guilty of some one of the habits that are categorized as greenwashing. So it's really eye-opening to know that to be informed that, oh, this is what greenwashing is and this is how we can do better. And I hope that every greenist on this call has been able to consume this and are going to make it a part of us as we continue in this advocacy. Thank you so much, Chief. If you have any question, I'm going to take just two questions because we don't really have much time. So if you have any question, you should have questions, yeah, because I said it in the morning that we should prepare at least two questions per GSAC. So please, you can ask your question now. If you have any question, raise your hand so that I can call you
Yeah.
and you can
Okay.
ask a question. Okay, Omalala, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Samuel. And then thank you very much, sir, for the charge and for the enlightenment, because I feel it's an enlightenment. Actually, what I wanted to ask, I think from your last words, I was able to get it, but I just wanted to still say, like when I was saying my challenges earlier, there's this particular thing that there's one of these particular challenge, which was the carpooling, because I was trying to say, okay, before we go out and say we want to have a pollution-free environment, we're trying to make the compound, like, let it be free of pollution, and which is one of the reasons why we are thinking of the carpooling, nobody bringing car into the compound, lest there be a staff loss. But the excuse people were giving, of course, they were talking to me like, what did you know? That how are they going to bring their own children? They use their car to take their children to school. You see that they will take their children to school, they'll go back home to go and drop their children before joining staff bus and all those excuses. And then to an extent, I was thinking that in my head, I was thinking that, well, maybe this people might be right. Like, this thing might not be easy for them, having to drop their words in their schools and picking them up. But now when you were talking, I begin to see, like, no, they are not very right, in the sense that it is a mindset thing. Like maybe I need to change their mindset towards a sustainable environment, making them understand the effects of this thing on the general populace. Like it is not a one person thing. This is all of us. And if we are on the same, if we are on the same understanding, we are having the same mindset, then at that point we can now come together to find a proper solution to the problem. I don't know, maybe you get me, like if I am right that maybe I need to change the people's mindsets before bringing a strategy so that it is possible that all of us can now come together and find a solution to achieving a particular environmental sustainability, like for a particular goal. Okay, this is what we want to achieve for this particular purpose. That if people's mindset are changed, I don't know if I'm right. That's the question. Like if I'm right, we'll be able to, because I feel they are still right when they were telling me that carpooling cannot work for them, that because they want to drop their awards in school. Thank you, sir. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Omolola, for sharing that very, very real um experience or real dilemma that you have found yourself in discussing with these people. And I like that. I like that you mentioned this. This is real. This is what happens when we are talking about sustainability, because it means different things to different people at different times, and that's why I said that sustainability is not a destination. It is a journey and a solution that um, there may not be an outright solution at a particular point in time, but very importantly, there's a consistent effort to always want to be better. Now, the situation that you have highlighted, yes, it's very valid when somebody says, I have to take my children to school in my car, and does it make sense to now go back and park the car because I want to join the staff bus? Is there even enough time for that? Once the person go late to work, you go late to work, you get queried severally, you lose your job and stuff like that. So these are real challenges and real situations. So thank you for asking that. And I cannot tell you categorically now that I think if they do it like this, if they do it like that, it will be better. But like you have mentioned, that if we need to keep the conversation alive and we need to jointly think around it. Okay, what can we do? Is it possible that okay, if there's a couple of us that are residing in this area, say one of the staff of the company now, there's a couple of us that are residing in this area, is it possible that our children, if they are going to the same school or their school is in the same area, is it possible that we have one car take them to work, or we have somebody take them to work, while we who go to work, myself, I go to work in my company, I enter my staff bus and all that. But you'd see that it starts to become a conversation that is beyond yourself, that is beyond, say, maybe one of your colleagues that you have spoken to about the situation, and I've mentioned to you that I can't, I need my car because I need to go and drop my kids. So there's a part of wanting to do stuff together with the people around you, even for the bus transport, for the work joint transport for staff, whether a bus or something. It becomes a conversation that involves many other persons, because if the staff do not buy into it, and if it's not such that the company conditions them to take the bus, then, or to take that form of transport, then and there may be little one can do. So I would just say that the point here is that as you have rightly said, there's need to continually talk about it. In some instances, that's the only thing you can do. And if it continually rings in people's mind that, okay, we should constantly be striving for how to do it better, for how to manage it better, for how to reduce the impact. If we continue to talk to people around it, if there's 10 of us working in a setting and, all 10 are conscious of that fact, then it will increase the chances of designing a solution, of coming up with a solution that will work for all of us, or that at least we have a better, or we have less impact on the environment. So yeah, that's all I can say to your question, because you cannot invalidate the realities of people that you have to by force be following the standards. children, let them get to school any way they can. So then we also assess, like I mentioned earlier, what level are the children? How old are they? Is it possible that they transport themselves to school, or there's somebody who can aggregate the children in an area? Then that even takes the conversation away from the office and takes it to the neighborhood. So another point of educating those in the neighborhood about sustainability and how we can jointly have less impact on the environment. So it's a more robust conversation, but I would just continue to do your part of talking about it, of engaging people about it, and of constantly looking for ways to make it better. And yeah, the thing with sustainability is it always presents an opportunity and innovation point for entry. So thank you again, Molola, for sharing that. And I see some questions in the chat room. These questions are not, I will not answer these questions because they miss the point of the conversation this evening. Sorry for that. One of them is asking, how can companies and public figures be held accountable when they promote sustainability, but their actions tell a different story? What we are talking about is how we, as climate champions, we are the companies here, we are the public figures, or if we are private figures here. So if you're asking the questions around that, how can yourself be held accountable? Maybe talking about it. So, but in what ways can the public be empowered to critically assess the claims of climate champions and avoid being misled? How can the public be empowered to assess your claims as a climate champion so that you do not mislead them? One of the ways is you stop misleading, practice what you preach, practice what you know, practice what you claim, and continue to educate that public themselves so that they also get conscious and also practice. So if you make the questions about us, yes, we can talk more about it. Then there is greenwashing illegal or not? Sorry, I'm also not going to answer that. I think it does not bear credence to what we are trying to achieve by having this conversation on how ourselves we can do better as acclaimed environmental advocates. Yeah, so thank you, Taiwo. Back to you.
All right, thank you. Sorry, thank you very much, Chief. I believe everyone is enjoying this conversation because they really don't want it to end. That's why we have like 2, 3 more questions in the chat room. But we have to end this now. Thank you once again, Chief, for um, your session. Now we are going to move to the next section of tonight, and that's our debate. We have okay. Before then, um, advocate GSAG, entrepreneur, and storytellers. I'm still expecting your slides on the group. Please do that now. Now. And I'm going to hand over to Gisam Gift. She's going to be taking us through the debate. Please, ladies and gentlemen, greenies, make welcome Gisam Gift as she takes over the mic from me. Gisam Gift,
Yeah, thank you so much. Please confirm if you can hear me. Good
I can
evening,
hear you.
Grace. Good evening, Gisams. All right, great. Thank you. Yeah, amazing lecture tonight. Please, would really move as fast as possible to our debate because of time. I believe we are ready. Let me know if you are ready. If you are yet to send in your slides, please quickly do that, okay? Because we'll be calling us to present, and failure to send in your slide means you are not ready. So please, you just have a minute to send it in, respective GSAGs who are yet to send it in. And for those on the call, inform your GSAG members who are not that they should join in. It's time for the debate. There's a part of team support, okay? So let's have a fuller house. Let's do that in the next 30 seconds. Let's have a fuller house. Please, if you are ready for the debates, just go and say you are ready. Let's see our responses. You are ready, you are ready, you are ready. Okay. Can we see me? I'm not seeing any. Okay, great. Thank you for welcoming me. Only one person is ready. Okay. All right then. Just Taiwo, as the others, please let me confirm if others has sent in
Okay, I see
their slides now.
advocates and storytellers are still pending.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Okay, so the storytellers, advocates. So we have, as we all know, there are 3 groups, okay, and they are presenting on same topic. Group A, individual actions make no significant difference in solving the climate crisis. The storytellers get to oppose, and the conscious GSAs get to support the motion, right? And we have the group B, recycling is truly a sustainable practice. The leaders get to support, the sages get to oppose. And we have the group C, developing countries should focus on economic development before environmental sustainability. The advocates get to support and the entrepreneurs get to oppose. Please confirm if that is correct, every one of us. I mean, just ask fellow Greenies, respective Greenies of those GSACs, confirm if what I've said is correct for those that are going to be opposing and supporting. So in the next 1 minute, we're going to get started. So group A goes first, group B, and group C, okay? So the storytellers and the conscious GSACs, please confirm again if you are ready for this. Just confirm to me in the chat room. Are you all here? Are you ready? Are you ready for the debate? Okay, correct. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for your feedbacks. Conscious is ready. Okay. Is anybody from the storytellers here, please? All right, let me ask group B. Please, if I call and I don't get a response, I'm going to give another chance. If there's no response, it means that they are not ready, right? Okay, so group B, the leaders, please confirm your presence in the chat room. Are you ready? The sages, confirm if you are ready to. The leaders, confirm if you are ready, and the sages, confirm if you are ready. The sages, you are ready. Okay. It seems like just one person that is around though. Please inform your GSACS members to join in the call, all right? Because it's very important as part of the assessment, as part of the grading. Group C, the advocates and the entrepreneurs, please confirm your presence if you are ready, especially the presenters. Confirm that. Sergio's born ready. Okay, I love that. Oh my goodness. All right. Sages are ready. Okay, so let's start. It's like the storytellers are not ready. I'm going to just let's move to the advocates and the entrepreneurs. So we'll start with them. Or I mentioned that we're going to go group A, group B, group C. Yeah. So the storytellers, I'm going to ask again. Are you people ready? Are you in the room? Okay. I can't seem to find anyone. Okay, so while we wait for them, let's have group C. All right. Developing countries should focus on economic development before environmental sustainability. Okay, please remember that each speaker has 10 minutes. So when I call your GSAC, just let me know if you are going to be the only one presenting or you have a supporter, okay? So that I don't know if the mic is for everyone to unmute. However, I would want to decorum so that who is the host? Who is our host? Okay. Yeah, so that you can be co-hosted and be given the mic to, speak. So with that said, let's have developing countries should focus on economic development before environmental sustainability. The advocates and the entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs, are you ready, please? Please let me know, indicate who are your presenters. How many presenters do you have? Okay, the storytellers, one person has joined in. Have you sent in your slide? I'm waiting for the entrepreneurs, please. Is anyone on the call? Who are your presenters? It's like I can't find any entrepreneur here. Oh, I'm not sure they are here. Oh, wow. Okay. So the storyteller, they're the only one there. Are you the one presenting so that we'll just start with you people? Because I can't even see the entrepreneurs anymore. The advocates are in, and there's no rest. Move on and we'll decide what will happen. Okay, because time is running. So I'm asking again, the entrepreneurs, are you ready? Who is going to be presenting? Oh, you're not the one presenting. Okay, Chuku Chinda, you're the one presenting. Okay, great. Confirm if you've sent the slides so that it can be shared. Kindly unmute your mic and talk, please. Okay, Chuku Chinda, are you there, please?
Yes, I am here. Good evening, Gsa and fellow Greenies. Yes, the
Hello.
slides have been sent to the Homecoming platform. Thank you.
Oh, okay, great. Are you the only one presenting?
Yes, I'll do the presentation.
All right, amazing. The entrepreneurs are ready. So please, advocate, get ready. Get ready. Once it starts, which is going to be 10 minutes, you would come in. So before then, the advocates, please let me know who is presenting on your behalf. Because we don't want any time to, we don't want to give any extra time, okay? And we don't want to waste anyone's time. So who is presenting on your behalf, the advocate, so that you can immediately take over once I say you should go ahead. The advocates, are you here? No response. The advocates, are you here, please? Jisam Taiwo, please help me to share this screen of the entrepreneurs. The advocate, please respond on that. Are you in the room? Are you ready? No response. Like they are not around. Okay.
Please,
All
can
right.
you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see it. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
The advocates, you are not in the room. All right. Let's
I
have
am.
the you
Okay,
are who is
sorry.
speaking?
Oh, no, sorry.
All right. So we're going to have the entrepreneurs present and would ask again. Please, if you know anyone in the advocates, tell them that the entrepreneur, you have 10 minutes for the presentation. Okay, Chuku, are you there, please? Please, can anyone still hear me? Is it my network?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, I said you can start, like your time has started. Please go ahead. You have 10 minutes. This is 9:15.
All right. Good evening, Gsa and fellow Greenies. So the entrepreneurs GSAG, the group, will be opposing the motion of developing countries should focus on economic development before environmental sustainability. Yes, okay, introduction, yeah. So the proposing motion that developing countries should focus on economic development before environmental sustainability may not have known fully the implications which results from the neglect of sustainable development, especially for developing nations where safeguarding of natural endowments are porous. So we can see that most developing nations, there is laxity in law, environmental laws, which makes it easier for environmental degradation and pollution, which is not very good for the environment and, of course, for human well-being. Next slide. Yeah, so we're going to be basing this presentation on three principles: people, planet, and prosperity, which is the holistic circular economy. For people, which means the circular economy, a more balanced approach to development that respects the environment, includes human well-being and social justice. A green economy fosters innovation and alternative energies such as solar power, electric vehicle, and human rights. So for people, or for what the circular economy means, it means that it is a holistic approach to environmental sustainability. It's not just focusing on economic development. When you focus on economic development and you leave the environment porous to environmental degradation, to oil spillage, to loss of biodiversity, all these are going to be a step back or a drawback for the economy. At the end of the day, you go one step forward and two steps backward. The next slide, please. The planet, impact of environmental degradation. Here we're talking about a focus of economic development without sustainable or environmental sustainable development. You can see the real impact here. We see that a focus on economic growth without environmental sustainability can lead to pollution of the environment and loss of biodiversity. In the Niger Delta, for example, we see the exploration of oil, which has led to the pollution of water, the loss of livelihood for farmers and fishermen, and of course, even for air pollution. And this can lead to the destruction of habitats for plants and animals. The next slide, please. Now we go over to prosperity, biodiversity, and standard of living. When you talk about prosperity, we're talking about the standard of living of the people. Now, biodiversity is essential for economic growth and development because it ensures the balance of the ecosystem through the provision of tourism, medicine, freshwater, raw materials, and the preservation of species from extinction. You can see that biodiversity plays an essential role in keeping the ecosystem safe, not just for humans, not just for plants, but for the expansion of the economy. If the land is polluted, where would the raw materials come from? If the land is polluted, how can we get fresh water to drink, and so forth and so forth? So keeping the planet safe, keeping the environment clean is good for the economy. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, a focus on economic growth alone cannot ensure proper development, and it would only lead to significant damage and drawbacks to the environment. However, through a comprehensive environmental and sustainable development blueprint, governments and economies, especially in developing countries, would not only avoid the negative implications of environmental pollution, but also enjoy a steady and gradual increase in development and growth through efficient and effective adoption of the circular economy. In essence, um, an effective circular economy and environmental sustainable development is a holistic approach. It includes the environment, includes adoption of policies that ensures that waste management is not just introduced into the environment, but is used for further wealth, for further production. So and this type of economy is not just an individual something, it both needs both government, the private sector, and everyone. Is a holistic effort. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So
All right.
yeah.
Okay, great. Well done. That was an amazing presentation. Do we have your fellow Gsaks in the house? You guys were not even supporting what he was saying, or it's just you that did this?
Well,
Okay.
okay, yes, yeah.
You wanted to respond. Your time is still, you still have time, so yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay,
What did
okay.
you?
No. I prepared it in behalf of my group. So yes, that's what I want to say.
And I'm saying that, how about others in the team? Like you prepared it on behalf of the team. At least as you are presenting, they should have come in for support, and that's what I'm saying. Team support is key in, so
I
I could
don't know.
not find anyone,
Yeah,
to
maybe
support or
okay. Yes, that's the plan, but I don't know why they are not here. The message has been passed, the information have been heard, so I really don't know why they are not here. I
all
don't
right.
know because I saw a 2 GB data. I don't know if that's the case for my assistant. I don't know why. Maybe that's the reason she's not here. Maybe due to data. Uh, that is just it. Maybe there is a data issue there. That's why she's not here.
Okay, that's fine. So, well, have you been giving your data? If she has data, if you think she has data issue, the 2 gig data that was said, was it given to you? Have you been given?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
All
Uh,
right. That's fine. All right. Please, Greenies, understand that it's like a teamwork. Okay. If someone has prepared the slides now presented, at least there should be kind of support ongoing. Whichever way we move. Okay. Precious Favor, you are here. Network is fluctuating. Sorry about your network. Is that right? That's fine. We move. We don't have time. Okay. The advocates, please indicate. Are you around now? I just saw that you shared your slides. So who is presenting? Please let me know so that we can move on. The
Good evening,
advocate.
ma'am. Good evening, Sam. I
Okay.
will be
So
presenting
are you the one?
yes,
All right. Are you the only one presenting?
yes, I will be the only one to
All right. All
presenting.
right. That's noted. Please, if you have other of your members or the advocates, it's your turn, and it will be good you share and show your support. Okay. All right then. This is 9:25. Just Taiwo, are you there, please? Can you help us share the screen? It's like she's not on the call. Okay.
I'm sharing right now. Can you see my screen?
Oh, okay, thank you. I just saw it now. Yeah, you can expand it. Thank you. The advocates, if you just sent in your slides,
Yes,
Mhm. The judges will know what to do about it. All right.
apologies. In fact, looking up with
What did
submission.
you say?
I said, in fact, meeting up with submission is a miracle. I just had to quickly put up with something.
Oh,
I
okay, it's
wasn't
a
informed
miracle.
of that. Yeah,
It's all
I
right.
wasn't.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Well done
Thank you
on
very much.
standing in. Okay, Chico,
Thank
please
you. Very
kindly mute your mic, okay? Since you are no longer speaking for now. Thank you. All right. Greenie, I don't want to murder your name, but I can see Babalola.
Yeah, for your land.
Uh, I don't know how to pronounce your other name, so
All
let me
right.
not murder it.
No problem.
So this is, yeah, just sometimes if you can help us expand the screen to be good, it's still showing others. It's not well zoomed. All right. You have 10 minutes. This is 9:27. Please go ahead. The time starts now.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Diakorolami Babalola, as already stated, from the Advocate Gsa, and the topic to support for this debate is developing countries should focus on economic development before environmental sustainability. And it will just be right for me to explain the terms, and then next slide, defining the key terms. And that takes me
Sorry, can you be more audible? I can't hear you very well from my end.
to what developing countries are. Can you hear me?
I'm not sure if it's my um Lola. Are you still there? I think they can't hear too. Oh my goodness. If you can hear me, let me know because I can't hear you at all. Maybe you could re log out and rejoin. Oh, okay. I guess our network has done its thing. Let's see.
Okay, I'm back now. Sorry, the network is very terrible at this end, and I just saw that my data says okay, but it will take me through this session. So let me quickly rush over it. So please confirm if you can hear me. Let me know if you continue.
Hello? Oh,
Elliot, can you hear me?
You can hear you. Can hear you.
All right,
You
thank you
can
very
hear you.
much. So thank you very much.
mm,
Like I was saying before the network cut me off, I am starting by defining key terms in this topic, this crucial topic, so we know where we are headed. And by definition, next slide, please. We can see that developing countries are referred to nations that have lower levels of industrialization, income per capita, and human development indicators compared to developed countries, in the sense that they do not have um, they do not have good great standard of living. They do not have basic amenities. You know, they lack even economic empowerment that ensures that, you know, they are stable, maybe financially, economically, and all. So they do not have that in place. Most of them, they can be termed as, they struggle, and that is the population that fills developing countries most of the time. And then economic development also refers to the sustained long-term improvement in a country's standard of living. Um, da, da, da. I don't want to bore you with the notes, but it just means that this is the level of improvement that comes to a country's standard of living. When you can say that a particular country is has stable health infrastructures and they prosper in the things that they do, they have good structures, and they are just comfortable, they thrive economically. That's what it means. And then environmental sustainability is the responsible interaction with the environment to ensure that the natural resources are preserved and maintained for future generations, which is what plugging Nigeria literally stands for or represents. So to the next slide, I have my core argument points. And if we say that the topic, back to the topic that says developing countries should focus on economic development before environmental sustainability. The reason is because economic development lays the foundation. Like in any building, you start by laying the right foundation. And permit me to quote from the scriptures that says that if the foundation be destroyed, if you do not have the right foundation, the things that you lay on it will end up crumbling. And for a developing country, a strong economy is what is needed to provide the right resources in order for them to implement and sustain environmental initiatives. Any environmental initiative that would be built or that would be started in a developing country without the right economic backup can end up, crumbling. It won't be sustainable, and that's the whole point of environmental sustainability, right? So if a country does not have basic needs like food, healthcare, education, and the basic amenities, good roads and all that, environmental concerns become secondary. They wouldn't even have the time to think about, oh, I want to reduce my waste, I want to do this, I want to plant trees. Those things become secondary to them because they are trying to survive. They're trying as much as possible to just, you know, live every day, get by every day. And also, there's this popular quote by Indira Gandhi that says, "Poverty is the greatest polluter." So, people in poverty, if you observe well, when you go to the rural areas, you by analysis, rural areas are more polluted than the urban areas, and it just goes to show that poverty, because they prioritize survival over sustain woods that they are meant to, the trees that they are meant to preserve in order to foster fresh air and to encourage afforestation and all. Those are the things that they will even start considering to use for their wood to cook food every day, and they practice unsustainable farming. So, but if there is a good economic situation, it can even fund a cleaner technology and even cleaner alternatives for them to fall back on. And like I already said, which is the third point, people in the urban areas, they can afford sustainable options, solar panels, which they can just afford the sustainable practices because they have first invested in building strong economies for them. But developing countries, they need some capacity first, or else their country will just end up being stalled from developing altogether. So we also have the historical context and global fairness. That's in the next slide. You know, developed countries industrialize at the cost of their environment at first, and then they now pressure others to stay clean. I think it is quite unfair to demand the same standard from a developed country and a developing country because they don't have the same resources. So um, the resources that they need to actually stay clean are absent, and they can't achieve the level of results that developed countries have. Because of time, let me just jump to the last point. That is invest job creation and stability. Investment in industries, even if it's not 100% green, creates jobs, it lifts people out of poverty, and it builds national resilience. I mean, when you are stable, you have a job of your own, you're financially stable, you're financially secure, you can start thinking of how to, you know, ensure that your environment is green, 100% green, ensure that you start observing sustainable practices like not burning your waste, like using solar panels instead of electricity, and all those other green alternatives. So and moving on to the next slide, it might seem impossible. It's sorry please, I lost my trail of thought. So let me just move on to the next slide that tackles practical suggestions that show how prioritizing economic development can lead to sustainable outcomes. So someone might be thinking, no matter how much you try to develop the country, a country like Nigeria, we even have arguments like that say Nigeria cannot grow past what it already is, but I believe that when points that I have gathered, when they are being considered and being acted upon, they can eventually lead to sustainable outcomes at the end of the day. And first of these points is investing in infrastructure. When good roads are being built, when the right energy alternatives are being adopted, when good water is being provided, internet accesses are provided. At the end of the day, there is productivity, there is business growth, and this will boost employment. It attracts foreign investment, and it also lays the groundwork for cleaner technology. At the end of the day, you can now afford
Hello.
what you need to.
Hello. Your time is up.
Okay, all right, okay, let me just jump to the conclusion. I'll close this argument
Your
by
time
saying
is
that
up. Your
you
time
can't
is up.
protect the environment and an ecosystem. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, well done. I gave an extra minute because at some point we were not hearing you initially. So your
Okay,
time was already up, since 2 minutes ago.
all right,
Okay,
thank
well
you.
done. I guess you're the only one from your GSAC. I can't find anyone to that was supporting you. So the advocate GSAC, well done. The leaders, we are running out of time. Okay, so
Thank
we have to rush. Please stick to the time, all right? Everyone that has not presented yet. Um, the leaders GSAC, please, are you online? Kindly indicate.
Yes, ma'am. I'm online.
Okay, great. So are you the only one presenting?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Just Taiwo, thank you. Please help put up the screen. All right, sharing. Yeah, so this is 9:40. You have 10 minutes, and yeah, you can begin.
Okay, ma'am. Good evening, the founder. Good evening, the judges, the GSAMs, and my fellow Greenies. My name is Ikmat Badamosi, and I will be representing the leaders GSAG. So on the topic, recycling is truly a sustainable practice. So I'll be supporting the motion. So introduction to recycling. So definition of recycling is a method that reduces waste in landfills and conserves natural resources by gathering waste materials and manufacturing it into a new product. So in
the contrast to creating new things, it entails repurposing waste materials into useful resources. So it helps to avoid natural resource depletion and using less energy compared to making a new product on its own. So next slide, please. So the United States of America recycling system overview. So they have 3 steps. The step 1 is collection and processing. This entails several methods for collecting recyclables. So it includes curbside collection, drop-off centers, deposits, or refund programs. Then the second step is manufacturing. These recyclables are processed into a new product. So in this step, majorly, after all the waste products are already collected from the first step, so they manufacture it into a new product. So most of the products they manufacture it into, they are also recyclable. So it's more like manufacturing a waste product into a new product that can also be recycled again. So the step 3 is purchasing new products made from recycled materials. So the byproducts made from the step 2 can be the car bumpers, the aluminum can, trash bags, motor oils, and the rest. So we move on to benefits of recycling. Next slide, please. So the first benefit is conservation of natural resources. So research shows that recycling uses 95% less energy than new production. So, and also plant recycling also saves trees by reducing land waste. So the land waste is also landfills by 25%. The second benefit is recycling reduces pollution and waste. For example, recycling of glass helps to decrease air pollution by 20% and water pollution by 50%. 50% is a whole lot. Then the plastic recycling also lowers oil dependence and reduces carbon footprints. Then the third one will have energy savings. So, for example, this recycling of plastic bottles saves enough energy to power a laptop more than 25 hours. So to estimate how much energy you can save by recycling a certain period, which is plastic bottles. So, and according to Environmental Protection Agency, they developed the Individual Waste Reduction Model, I1. So, next slide, please. Continuation, we have the fourth one, climate change. We have enhancement of infrastructures and technological advancements. We have economic benefits and job creation. So, in addition to the EPA and other prominent environmental organizations like the UN, there is a waste management hierarchy that ranks strategies from most to least environmental preferred. So we are all familiar with the 3 R's, which is the reduce, reuse, recycle. And from the sustainability perspective, creating items that can be recycled is better than burning them in incinerator or burying them in the landfill. So in conclusion, next slide, please. In conclusion, recycling is an essential technique for attaining environmental sustainability and goes well beyond waste management. So recycling is mostly essential in making planet healthy for future and present generations by preserving resources, reducing pollution, saving energy, promoting economic growth, and safeguarding environments. So this majorly are what we need to change the whole climate change issues that we have at the moment. So if we all can actually incorporate recycling as part of our daily day-to-day activities, then I think it is a better technique in sustainable environments. Thank you for listening.
Okay, well done. Kudos to you and your GSA members. It seems like you're the only one also. So 10 minutes presentation, you did it within 5 minutes. Is that right? Well done. That was good.
Yeah,
So
sorry. We were supposed to be two, but she is currently unavailable. So she's supposed to take the second part. So I didn't know it was
is
going
that
to.
right? All right then. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so we move on. The sages, please let me know if you are ready. You are next. Who is your presenter? Kindly indicate. The sages, are you here? Abiba, are you the one presenting? Who is the first present? Kindly unmute. Whoever that is presenting, unmute and speak to me, please. Abiba is the
Okay, good
first.
evening. I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one.
Okay. Zipporah is the second. Okay, I guess both of you know how you come in. So once I say your time begins, you have the 10 minutes and, try to stick to the time. All right.
Okay,
It's like
before
this.
I want to ask something. Is it that the first speaker will finish speaking and when the leaders comes for their second time, that's when our second speaker will speak?
Oh, no, the leaders are done. Like,
Okay, they are
that's what
complete.
they have.
Okay.
Yes, that's what they have. They are done with their presentation. Okay. So, once you are called, once the sages is called, your 10 minutes, I'm not going to tell you to stop. Just know that once you pass 10 minutes, I would stop. I'll stop your presentation. That's if you are still speaking. So please, if you are two presenters for this, just know how best to come in. Okay. So I'm not going to say, oh, take over. You should have done that preparation before now. So this is 9:48. Zipporah, I guess you can unmute from your end. I'm not sure there's any mic thing, so that kindly confirm if you can unmute the second presenter so that it will not be that you wanted to unmute and is she there?
Okay, yes, I am. Can everyone hear me?
Okay, great. I can hear you. All right, that's fine. So this is 9:48. So please 10 minutes, all right? Who is going first? Who is going second? You know how you're gonna do it. So
I'm
by
going first.
9:58. All right, please
Okay.
you can start. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, my panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my supporters, or should I say, fellow sages. I am here to oppose the motion, which says that recycling is truly a sustainable practice. So I'm opposing this motion. My name is Habiba Sulaiman, and I'm representing the CG's GSAG. So I'll start by highlighting the table of how we are going to go with the presentation. So as the first speaker, I will take the definition, the reasons why is not the best option, then facts that challenges recycling and the cost versus the benefit. While my second speaker will take the greenwashing problem, the way out, and the final thoughts about all of these things. So without wasting much time, I will dive in. Please, next, the first slide, the next slide, rather. What is recycling? What is recycling? Recycling is the process, as she said, of repurposing or converting waste into another useful material. In that sense, as they said, that they are reducing or they are giving the waste another purpose. But for me, I feel like they are just saying all of that to make it look like they are actually saving the world, which they are not, because it's not all plastics that are recycled. We have different types of plastics, the PT. Okay, we have different types of plastic like the PET, the HDPE, the PVC, LDPE, PP, and the PS boards. Out of all of these categories of plastic, just two out of it, which is the PET and the HDPE, that can effectively be recycled. So that's the problem. Please, next slide. Is it really sustainable? For us, we said a very big no. Why? Because it's high energy and water usage is like high. During the process of recycling of plastics or any other materials, they tend to say that okay, oh, they saved energy since they are using like a lot of waste to turn it into a useful materials. But no, they emit a lot of substances, and they take high energy in the process of sorting, in the process of cleaning, in the process of arranging, in the process of changing it. It takes a lot of energy. Pollution from recycling facilities. So this recycled waste that they are telling us that okay, they are saving the planet by recycling, they emit a lot of pollution, from air pollution, toxic gaseous substances, to the remnants of what they are making, land pollution, water pollution to the water bodies are all. We can say a lot of it. Limited recyclable of many materials. Just like we said, okay, they tend to say that okay, most they are recycling plastic or other materials like paper, but not all of them are effectively recycled, and they expose a lot of toxics like the e-waste recycling process. Mercury and lead and other hard metals are being exposed into the environment, the water, aquatic animals, and even humans. Most plastics are downcycled, not truly recycled. This is really like the most of the problem. They just I don't know, almost similar to what our facilitator for today explained, the downwash, right? They just make it look like they are saving the world, but they are harming the world in the process of saving the world. Like there is no sustainability in that aspect. And they encourage overconsumption. The reason why we say they encourage overconsumption, if they are preaching the gospel that okay, we'll go and use waste, don't think before you use your waste. That means that they are encouraging people to continue doing what they do, to continue lavishing what they are lavishing, instead of telling them to okay, think of reuse, reduce of their product, taking circular economy into consideration and more. Please, next slide. The facts that challenge recycling. The first is um only 9% of plastics ever produced has been recycled. This is from reliable sources, and the link is there. And China's 2018 waste import ban exposed global recycling flows. Okay, let's bring it back to Nigeria. When Lagos banned styrofoams, a lot of things, a lot of things happened. So, okay, let's go to the last one, which is developed nation export waste to poorer countries, a practice sometimes referred to as waste colonialism. So these and more are challenges that are facts and that are faced by recycling. Please, let's go to the next slide. Causes versus benefits. I am very sure this picture is a vivid showing people how okay, transport and sorting add carbon emissions. I am very sure that recycling companies do not use bicycle to recycle their goods. No. So any other means that they will use will emit CO2. Quote this, will emit CO2. So this is showing you the very big danger of recycling to the environment. Recycling some materials costs more than producing new ones. This is also another fact. And downcycling reduced materials qualities. So we'll be happy, oh, they are saving the world, but they are not giving us quality. They are not giving us quality. They are just doing makeup. Please, let's go to the next slide. Okay, I'll stop here, and the second speaker will just tell you more about how we can um take our how we can save ourselves from all these people that are cajoling us. Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you so much, Habiba. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Zipporah from the Sages GSAC, and I'll try to make this quick. I believe we only have 2 minutes left. So we're talking about the greenwashing problem. We already talked about greenwashing, but the angle here, how it deals with recycling is that companies shift responsibilities to their consumers. They'll create products, they are not recyclable, and they're like, okay, we've done our part. Oh, this is eco-friendly, and they give it to us. And then when there's an issue and when we recycle them, they can't be recycled. They shift the blame towards us that, oh, we did our part, we created the product, and you guys didn't recycle it, you guys didn't put it in the right category or whatever. Another thing, second point here is that they mislead labels, like misleading labels on non-recyclable products. Some products are not 100% recyclable. For example, now, like Nestle, there was a problem where they said they had 100, that products were 100% recyclable. That was not the case at all. And it caused problems over the course of like recycling the products. Then another thing is that while we're focusing on recycling, recycle it, while losing like the importance of reduce, like we should be reducing and reusing our products, not just recycling them. Then another thing now, like the next slide, please. What experts say. Like Annie Leonard, she's a environmental sustainability campaigner. She has talked about how recycling is a myth and it is keeping us from truly focusing on sustainable systems. Then we have UN environmental program. Many environmental organizations have echoed that we cannot recycle our way out of the plastic crisis. These are things that we should take note of. Now, for the last slide, please. Sorry, what the next slide, what we should do instead. I'm just going to use the circular economy because it covers everything that we should do here. So the circular economy is a model where we're not just, it's not like pretty much most countries focus on linear economy. They create, they use, they dispose waste. But we should focus on circular economy where we support products, we create products that can be easily reused, that last longer, and we prioritize reducing production, and we also focus on taking care of our consumption habits. This is all these points that are here, the 3 points here, that tied, that deeply rooted in the circular economy. And Finland is one country that have decided that by 2050, that is their main focus, to have a circular economy. I believe Nigeria is also heading towards that direction. So please, the final thoughts. The next slide. Thank you. So for the final thoughts now, this is something that we should all take note of. Yes, recycling is truly, it's a good practice, but it's not truly a sustainable practice. It's beneficial, but at the like in the long term, it's not a sustainable solution. It is energy intensive, it's limited, and often misrepresented. And we need a systematic change for true sustainability, which is the circular economy. We should not just focus on, oh, let's recycle, let's recycle. The real sustainability is when we reduce, we think, we reuse, we repairs. We repair. I think the 6 hours, we should take note of that. So let's all focus on that. Recycling is good, sure, but long term, it's not a truly sustainable practice. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay. Well done, the sages. You all are born ready, as you said, and you showed us. I think
Thank you.
yeah, I think from everything I enjoyed, it now look like we're really having a kind of debate presentation. So kudos to you and your GSAC members for putting this together. That was a great one. Well done. We can feel the support. Yeah, support is supporting. Someone said the sage is saging. Okay, without further ado, time is now on our side. We have 2 more GSACs. Are they ready? The storytellers. And sorry, the other, I'm trying to get, who's the GSAC left? A minute, please. Yeah, the conscious, yes. So please, the conscious, are you ready? The conscious, are you ready? Kindly speak to me if you are the one presenting. And how many presenters do you have?
Good evening, ma'am. The conscious is ready and we only have one presenter.
So who is the presenter?
I will be the one.
Are you the presenter? Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right, that's fine. Please, the conscious just ask, you see what the sages did. If you are on the call, ensure that you support your fellow member, okay? So this is 10, it's the way the time is running. This is 10:01, so you have 10 minutes. Please, the storytellers, please get ready, okay? All right, you can go ahead. Your time starts now.
Good evening, Gsa and my fellow Greenies. On behalf of the conscious, I'm here to support the motion. Individual actions make no significant difference in solving the climate crisis. Moving on to the next slide, I would like to support the motion with those points there. The next slide, please. Thank you. Slide 2. Moving on, climate crisis is a global emergency from melting ice caps to unprecedented wildfires. The signs are glaring, while individual efforts like recycling, reducing meat consumption are noble. They pale in comparison to the scale of the crisis. Today, we'll show why system-wise and not individual efforts or change is the path to a real change action. Moving on to the next point, which will help us understand it better. Without wasting time, let's discuss the scale of the crisis. Let's look at the facts because this will help us understand this better. According to the Carbon Disclosure Project, just 100 companies, and when I say 100, I mean 100 top companies, are responsible for 71% of global greenhouse gas emission in a scale of 100, leaving us barely 29%. Now, 30 ups, it clearly shows us that individual actions cannot hold a candle to this scale. The crisis is individual, industrial, corporate, and in nature. Now, moving on to the next slide, where we'll talk about the myth of the carbon footprint. The idea of a carbon footprint was championed by oil giants, popularly known as the BP, not to empower individuals, but to deflect blame. Instead of questioning the fossil fuel industries, people were taught to feel guilty about using plastic straws. This conveniently protects the real culprits. Moving on to the next slide. Having said that, let's also look into this. Structural problems need structural solutions. What do I mean by this? You cannot bike your way out of a climate crisis caused by a failing energy grid. Structural problems like deforestation, emission by heavy industries, or lack of renewable infrastructure demands policy reforms, regulations, innovations, and these are beyond individual reach. Moving on, let's also point out the limits of individual impact. Imagine replacing every light bulb in your house with energy efficient ones. Great, right? But now compare that to shutting down one coal plant. One action is symbolic, the other is system-wise. Real change must match the scale of the problem. Moving to the next point, the truth will always remain that real change comes from collective action. History shows us progress comes when people organize and demand change. From Paris agreements to carbon taxes, these are not the result of personal lifestyle changes, but collective pressure and policy making. It's time we focus our energy there. Moving on, it is known that a wise saying states, every action counts. True, but in this case, not sufficient. Why? Because individual change inspires others, but without power, that cannot be called progress. I will support that with this. It is said, every little helps, but in a house on fire, a glass of water doesn't stop the blaze. Also, individual actions might inspire, but inspiration doesn't reduce carbon dioxide on a national scale. We need power, policy, and protest if possible. Rounding up, let's stop guilting people for living in a system they didn't design. Instead, we should channel that energy into civic engagement, like voting and petitioning, because these are actions that force accountability from those who can make a real difference. I would like to close with this. Climate crisis is not caused by just individuals. It is driven by systems. And while individual efforts are commendable, I must say, they are not enough. To truly tackle this crisis, we must look to governments and corporations and global agreements. Because with their aid, we can stop this. Finishing, I would like to remind us, imagine in a community or in a village where they have a producing company. Let's say every member of the village says they won't use that product because they doesn't do recycling. It doesn't stop the company from producing. Now imagine the company keeps producing and dumping their waste in the rivers. Would this, for any reason, stop climate crisis? No, just because that the village people did not decide to use their products. So I would like to remind us again and call to our attention that individual actions is good, but it's not enough to stop climate crisis. Thank you.
Well done. Okay. Yeah, the conscious, you all are amazing. You have brought to our consciousness that individual actions are not enough. It's okay. Um, so you had 10 minutes and you used 5 minutes for your presentation. All right. The storytellers, please, are you on the call? Are you ready? We're supposed to have started with you people, but you did not answer us. So this is the final. Is anyone on the call from the storytellers? Please speak to me if you're on the call. Hello? Okay, it seems like I'm gonna ask again. The storytellers, Gsa, who is presenting? Excuse me, who is presenting?
Good
Kindly
evening.
unmute.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes,
Yeah, are
there's
you the one
nobody,
presenting?
and I'm not presenting. There's nobody presenting from the storytellers because I already sent a message. I don't know if you saw it. I already sent on the chat box that we are not ready, and there's a problem with that particular group. There's a problem, so the problem has to be rectified because I don't think there's more than 2 persons on that group. And we are like 90, but nobody responds like from day one till now, and this like 3 days or before days gone. So there's an actual issue on that group. So I don't know, maybe you speak with our GSAMs and then the issue will be rectified. But for now, there's nobody responding. I think I'm just the only one that have been joining from day one on this from Storytellers GSAG. So there's no presentation from us. Hello?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, yeah. So thank you for the updates. So you were not able to also like do any presentation for on behalf of your group?
I wasn't because I'm very occupied. I'm this homecoming. I'm just trying my best to see that I can push through. But for creating the slides and all, I didn't have that liberty of time because of work. I didn't have that liberty. And then the time frame is very short. And then I'm the only one responding. So how do I get to do those things by myself? So I'm just trying my best to see that I'm
Okay,
here.
that's fine.
Yes, yes. We apologize. I apologize on the group behalf, but the issue has to be sorted because there's an actual issue with that group. I don't know. Nobody's responding. Thank you.
Hello, can anyone still hear me? I don't know. Precious, are you still there? I wasn't hearing you very well. Okay, thank you for the feedback. All right, Precious, thank you for showing up and giving the updates concerning your GSAG. I don't understand what would have happened for them not to have showed up. Okay, so the storytellers are not ready. They are not here. So besides Precious, I guess no one else from the storytellers is here, right? And they don't have a presentation. Okay, so that's noted. Yeah, so well done, Greenies. Thank you for staying true to this point. And it's been an amazing presentation. I've learned, from you all, and I'm sure others has. I understand that the time frame was a bit limited, and this was stated from the very first day. Yeah. So, however, for those who have presented, maybe others will go and learn how they, made it happen. And if you ask them, they are going to tell you one thing, and that's one of the top, goal of the homecoming. You can't say you want to win and just do it all by yourself. If you read today's gene, you understand much better. Partnership for the goose. We can't say we want to achieve anything. That's why the conscious decided to. Oh my goodness. Let me now bring my into this room. Okay, so so this is the importance of teamwork, yeah. Very vital. Okay, so time is fast spent. Let me not go further on that. We are just going to wrap up here. Okay. Please expect further information on the general group. And we enjoy you to have done 3 days. Ready? Yeah. How many days are left? How many wrap up the homecoming? Can we still hear me? Hello? Let me get your responses in the chat room. No one is answering, or is it my network? Okay. So
We
please,
can hear at some point we could not hear.
We
I
can
could
hear
not hear.
you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, network is dealing with even myself. Okay, I'm just trying to ensure that it gets stable. Okay, thank you for your feedback. All right, so we have till Saturday. We'll be wrapping up this. So please, we're encouraged to stay to the very end. Okay. There's still more to come. Tomorrow we'll have the final round. We'll see who will make it to the finals. If you're just could make to the finals, you can be bold enough to put that in the chat room. Yes, we're making it to the finals. All right. So for me, let me just say this. For you all year now, the sages did their thing. So by the time we do another homecoming, you all will become automatically part of the sages. So get ready. Okay, that's fine. We're going to wrap it up here because time is fast spent. And thank you once again for staying to this point. Sorry that it took an extension. We extended over time. So thank you once again. Please, there are going to be further details on the in the WhatsApp group. Kindly stay tuned, and we're going to see us tomorrow's section and wrapping it up on Saturday. If there's no any question or any further comments, okay, I can see you guys comment. Thank you, Greenies. We are making it. Sages are making the conscious are okay. All right, everyone is making it. You all make it. It's all right. So let's move to the chat room. Thank you, Plugin Nigeria. Thank you to the host. Thank you, I don't know, Gsa Ramat. I guess is it final? Hey, can you still hear me? Gsa Ramat, is it the finals? Yeah, can they all move to?
Yes,
Oh, you
please.
have.
Just Taiwo is waiting for them.
All right, then please, just Greenies, let's move to the chat room. Thank you so much. Have a good night rest and see you all in the chat room. Bye for now.
Bye.